Trump is being used by Almighty God to not just help preserve America, but more importantly, like various emperors in the past, ride in with his army into the church and smash the corrupt, soul-destroying machine set up by some evil churchmen and restore the true mission. The day of reckoning continues to unfold for the communist deep state in D.C., and the corruption is far worse than anyone has ever imagined to this point anyway. Check out this post from Elon, which to date only scratches the surface. Fraud in the federal government is closer to 10% of disbursements, so more like 700 billion per year. Outright waste is at least 15%, so another $1 trillion+ dollars. Anyone who works in the government knows this. Trillions of dollars here now. The corruption is far-flung, spread all over D.C. Every agency, department, bureau, you name it. There is, in fact, so much that it's approaching insanity trying to categorize it all. One experience we have from history is that when an evil empire falls, the victors start reviewing the records and the documents and so forth and discover things were far more evil than they had even imagined. What they saw from the outside was only the tip of the proverbial iceberg. It happened most recently at the collapse of the Soviet Union, for example. All the previously secret files were now accessible, like the Venona Project, for example, the plan to pepper the U.S. government and churches with spies and influencers. Doge under Musk, who is directed by Trump, are now seeing this same phenomenon. Loads of documents and records detailing a mind-boggling amount of corruption, fraud, waste, and abuse. Trillions of dollars worth and counting. It's not the only source of the corruption, but U.S. aid has been likened to the devil's purse because of the gigantic sums of money that flowed out of the whole USAID thing to anti-American globalist causes, which of course are always linked to communism. One of the leading recipients of the money, billions of dollars over the past few years, have been these supposedly religious groups and their supposed humanitarian relief efforts. Here's a brief clip proving the point. It's from just last November, and important here, after Trump had won. This hearing happens, and this testimony comes out at a Homeland Security Committee hearing.
I'd like to ask Mr. Carroll and anybody else who would like to answer this, can you name some of these NGOs that have specifically taken these hundreds of millions of dollars and not used it to protect these children?
Catholic Charities, Lutheran Family Services, Jewish Family Services. I spoke to a gentleman that works in DHS. He actually sends the electronic fund transfers, and I asked him, sir, tell me, who do you send, who are you responsible for, and how much is the largest check you cut? He said, I'm over Jewish Family Services, and I cut a check for $600 million. And I said, is that for like 3 years? And he told me, JJ, get in the game. That's 2 or 3 months, and it's renewable.
Even though that particular anecdote was about Jewish Family Services getting $600 million every 2 or 3 months, notice the first organization, he said, when asked to name names.
Catholic Charities, Catholic Charities, Catholic Charities, Catholic Charities.
Corruption comes in many different forms, and in addition to pure profit, which is always a great motivator, there are also oftentimes other agendas at work. Because, two things can be true at the same time. It's a well-testified fact that Joseph Stalin understood for communism to conquer the world, the West would have to be rotted away from the inside as one, but still a leading line of attack. He and his communist agents in the West slowly but surely burrowed their way into Christianity, but positions in the Catholic Church in particular. Catholic Charities is a gigantic, far-flung operation run out of the U.S. Bishop's headquarters in Washington, D.C., but with scores and scores of offices all over the country. Their fingers are in everything. It makes a mint and is perhaps the largest pig at the trough when it comes to the so-called religious NGO. Money is absolutely, definitely a motive, but so too is mayhem, as in theological mayhem, the deliberate and willful distortion of the Catholic faith. That theological mayhem has been largely financed with U.S. tax dollars, hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars pouring into an outfit that has sought to undermine both church as well as state. And it's all directed from the U.S. Bishops' Conference in D.C. Twice a year, the nation's bishops leave their individual home dioceses and they all gather together and they meet. This is twice a year for a few days each time to discuss a whole wide range of various topics. But the meeting's over in a few days and they all head back to their own individual diocese. When that happens, the staff at the Bishops' Conference, they're the ones who are doing the real work the other 50 weeks a year. And what are they doing? They're lobbying Congress for hundreds of billions of dollars of your tax dollars. During the Obama campaign of 2008, the parking lot of the USCCB headquarters, the staff, where the staff parked, was Obama stickers as far as the eye could see. Every single car plastered with Obama stickers. It's not exactly news that the Catholic Church establishment ranges largely from milquetoast Church of Nice Folks to a cabal of people in various key and important positions, hell-bent, note the term, hell-bent on using every means at its disposal to demolish the church and substitute in its place a giant social justice agency, paid for, incidentally, by you. Well, by the way, all the leaders of those various groups and offices and committees and bureaus and a whole bit, they're all getting rich. Nice, comfortable life. Great work if you could do it. Every single institution you can name, the courts, the media, the universities, the government, medicine, banking, all of it has been co-opted to bring America to an end. But what too few realize is that the most significant institution to have been perverted has been religion, and chief among them, Catholic leaders and their hundreds of departments and agencies and offices and committees. Those people have fed at the trough of U.S. aid corruption for too long. Trump is being used by Almighty God to not just help preserve America, but more importantly, like various emperors in the past, ride in with his army into the church and smash the corrupt, soul-destroying machine set up by some evil churchmen and restore the true mission. Coming to you from Houston, Texas, yeehaw, Gary Michael Voris. God love you.